Emmanuel Modeste, also known as Looney of Molineux St. George, died on September 12, 2021, at the age of 58. Left to mourn mother Esme Modeste, sisters Dawn and Eve, brothers Francis, Alfred, also known as Brother, and Derek, children Nisha and Akeisha St. Louis, Zara, Ken, Kenrick and Terry Gibbs, Teresia Diane Modeste, Javon and Jadelle Modeste, grandchildren Shanice, Zarel, Zakeda, Tarika, Ken Jr., Keitherson Jr. Gibbs, Anijah, Akaden, Akion, and Janijah St. Louis, Ariel Thornhill, and Teron Lewis. Sister-in-law Yolande Nicholas, Aunt Helen Modeste in Trinidad. Nieces and nephews Marlene, Sheldon, Charlene, Stephen, Tracy, Dwayne, also known as Tony, Francis Jr., Gabrielle, Clinton, Tyler, Devon, and Lavelle. Other relatives and friends including Newton Thomas, Errol, the Nicholas, Patrick, Sylvester, and Modeste families, the fishermen and folk by the fish market, and many other relatives and friends from Molineux, Cemetery Hill, and surrounding areas. The funeral service for the late Emmanuel Modeste, also known as Looney, of Molineux St. George, will be held privately. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Cuthbert Robinson Forrester, also known as Pepper, Robbie, or Uncle Robbie, of Moncton St. George, died on September 16, 2021, at the age of 86. Left to mourn his brother Ernest Forrester, nieces and nephews including Eudine Charles, Anthea and Julian Frank, Teresa Cummings, Agnes Forrester, Shirley and Alban Paris, Joanna Johnson, and Althea Mitchell. Other relatives and friends including Byron Campbell and the Campbell family, Michael Matthew, also known as Santa in the USA, the Forrester, Frank, Mitchell, Johnson, and Duncan families. The funeral service for the late Cuthbert Robinson Forrester, also known as Pepper, Robbie, or Uncle Robbie, of Moncton St. George, will be held privately. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Veronica Berner Roberts Brown, also known as Silverine or Brown, of Grand Row St. John, who resided at River Road St. George, passed away on Thursday, September 2, 2021. At the age of 78. She was the wife of Winston Brown, mother of Beverly Roberts Lewis in the USA, Marlon Brown, and Delon Brown, grandmother of Harmony Greenwich, Davina Harry, and Ramaya Charles, mother-in-law of Elaine Lewis, aunt of Yvonne, Sharon, Jimmy, Astra, Kaunda, Natika, Quintana, Abina, Atu, Mandela, Sheldon, Shasha, Crispin, Lily, Kerry, and BJ. Many other relatives and friends including the Balthazar, Roberts, John, and Thomas families, and friends and neighbours of Grand Roy, Green Street, Tyrrell Street, and River Road, St. George. The funeral service for the late Veronica Berner Roberts Brown, also known as Silverine or Brown, of Grand Roy St. John, who resided at River Road, St. George, will be held privately. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Homes. Nathaniel Glassford Corion, also known as George and Pops, of Bellevue, South Carriacou, passed away on Thursday, 5th August 2021, at the age of 76. He was the husband of Genevieve Corion, also known as Jenny, father of Chris, Stephen, and Margaret, brother of Jacob in Canada, grandfather of Neal, Ethan, Nicholas, Nathaniel, Christian, Chana, Jay, and Asa, all in the United Kingdom. Adopted sister Titi in Canada. Brother-in-law of Edory, Peter, Mary, Marilyn, Lucine, and Pauline Straker in Barbados. Father-in-law of Leslie and Ramona, also known as Mona, in the UK. Son-in-law of Lillian Straker. Uncle of 28 in Barbados, Canada, England, and Grenada. Close cousins in Carriacou and Grenada. Other relatives and friends, including the Corion and Straker families, Carter Knoll, Manor Sangreave Churches in England, Molly Palmer, Bussue, Ferguson Reid, Gale, James, Lee, Bostic, Rashford Hewitt and family in the United Kingdom, and neighbours of Bellevue South and surrounding areas too numerous to mention. The funeral of the late Nathaniel Glassford Corion, also known as George and Pops of Bellevue South Carriacou, will be held privately. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Homes. Dr. Janet Agnes Lagrenard of St. Paul's and St. John's, Grenada, who resided in Kingston, Jamaica, passed away on Sunday 29th August 2021 at the age of 76, left to mourn her son, Dr. Carrie Fletcher, daughter-in-law Kay, grandson Michael, sisters Dame Cecile de la Grenade, Lois, Alana and Maurice, brother Dr. Crofton Stroud, sisters-in-law Donette, Ina, Rita and Mary, brothers-in-law Joseph and Finbar Fletcher, James Lashley, Bernard Finch and Anthony Roberts. Many nieces, nephews, former students and colleagues, and friends including Dr. Carol Jacobs in Barbados and Miss Jean Pitt in Canada. The funeral service for the late Dr. Jeanette Agnes Lagrenard of St. Paul's and St. John's, Grenada, who resided in Kingston, Jamaica, will be held privately. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Dr. Darville Ray, also known as Whiteman of Victoria St. Mark, passed away on Tuesday, 7th September 2021 at the age of 33. He was the son of Cathy Ray and David Ferguson, also known as Aisha, brother of Lavon Straker in England, Darrell Ferguson in Canada, Nicole George in New York, Tamika Straker, Kadeem and Katisha Ferguson in Grenada, brother-in-law of Daniel Ross, uncle of Jade and Jaden, nephew of 27. Many cousins, other relatives and close friends including doctors, nurses, members and staff of the General Hospital, Mayana Charles, Ziza Phillip, Zalisha Granger King, Brady, Mondale George, Sister Ennis, Josazelle, Jehani, Josanne, and friends and neighbors in China, the USA, England, Canada, Victoria, and surrounding areas. The funeral of the late Dr. Darville Ray, also known as Whiteman, of Victoria St. Mark, will be held privately. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Homes. Adrian Joseph Roberts, also known as Cloget and Brim, of Cloget, who resided at Grove Estate, St. John, passed away on Friday, September 10th, 2021, at the age of 75. He was the husband of Ancilla, father of Anastasia Mitchell, Aaron and Joel Williams, grandfather of Josiah, Eunice and Moses, great-grandfather of 2, brother of Maudlin, Marcel, Elsa Roberts, DeCosta Andrew, Fred Maguire and Clifford Roberts. Many nieces, nephews, other close relatives and friends including Clifford Bridgman, Daniel Lewis, Marva Elias, Agnes, Anne-Marie and Elvira, and friends and neighbors of Cloget, Grove Estate and surrounding areas. The funeral of the late Adrian Joseph Roberts, also known as Cloget and Brim, of Cloget, who resided at Grove Estate, St. John, will be held privately. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Homes. Corporal 399 Anderson Alexander Greenwich of Vincent St. David, who resided at La Sagesse St. David, died on Thursday, 16th September 2021, at the age of 47. Left to mourn his wife Natalie Greenwich, children Kaiba Klein, Simone Greenwich and Anderson Greenwich Jr., father Delic Greenwich, mother Bernadette Mavis Greenwich, siblings Cecil Greenwich, Gwen Messinga in Canada, Margaret Greenwich Bean, Pearl Greenwich Roberts Fabian, Ernest, Kevin and Carleen Greenwich, Aunt Diana Greenwich, uncles Leslie and Augustus Andrews Terence Greenwich, many brothers and sisters-in-law, many nieces and nephews including Kenesha Greenwich, Close relatives and friends including Elkington Alexander, Irene Rameau, Sean Ganes, Eslin and Glenville Lambert, the Batiste family of Coles Gap, the Andrews family of Mount Parnassus, Bishop Nelson and members of the Lassages Deliverance Temple, the Greenwich family of Windsor Forest, the rank and file of the Royal Grenada Police Force, Sergeant Caliste, and officers at the Traffic and License Department of the RGPF, the Granger family of Ravine, Lydia Thomas and family of Lamode, the staff at the Grenada Junior Academy, and Vernis Marichaud and family of Vendham. The funeral service for the late Corporal 399 Anderson Alexander Greenwich of Vincent St. David, who resided at Lassages St. David, will be held privately, followed by private interment. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Costly Raphael Augustine Mitchell, also known as Brother Mitch, Pops, and Papa Cos of Pomerose St. David, died on Monday 13 September 2021 at the age of 83. He was the husband of Mavis Mitchell in the USA, father of Donnan McSween and Raphael Mitchell in Canada, Daneth in the USA, Cossil and Teresa in Trinidad, Sergeant Randy Damian Mitchell in the Turks and Caicos, Prison Officer Daria Mitchell, and Laurie Mae Griffith in Grenada, adopted father of Cedas, John Diaz, Augustus and Wayne Charles, grandfather of 27, great-grandfather of 20 in the USA, Trinidad, Canada, England and Grenada, brother of Ruby Ann Griffith, Christine Mitchell, Lucille Mitchell, all in Grenada, and Leroy Mitchell in the USA, father-in-law of Adrian Griffith, Brian Graham, Samuel Smith, Osborne McSween, Natasha Mitchell and Carvel Joseph, brother-in-law of Clifton Griffith, Jeanette, Genevieve, Yvette and Esther, uncle of many too numerous to mention. Close relatives and friends including Michael Jacob, Letty Caesar, Maudry, Dennis Fraser, Jose Ferrer, the Augustus family, Brother Bob, Thompson Regis and family, Benedict Newton and family, Stevenson Worm and family, the Charles families of Crowshoe, members of Faith Pentecostal Tabernacle, Pomerose, the busmen plying the St. David's route, staff at Her Majesty's Prison and the St. David's Health Centre, and neighbours and friends of Pomerose, Latante, Hope, Grove, Grand Roy, Vendham and surrounding areas. The funeral service for the late Costly Raphael Augustine Mitchell, also known as Brother Mitch, Pops and Papa Cos of Pomerose St. David, will be held privately. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Kenny Thomas, also known as Bigger or Big Man of Grand Anne's Valley, St. George, died on Monday, September 6, 2021, at the age of 40. He was the husband of Shari Sanel Thomas, father of Maya, son of Bernadette Thomas and Michael Alexander, brother of Kendar, Nancy, Kamisha, Katisha, Nakisha, Cameron, Kimron, Roland, Dominic, Stacy, Tracy, Kimberly, Arlene, Jamal and Kershaw. Nieces and nephews too many to mention. Aunts and uncles too many to mention. Friends too many to mention. The funeral service for the late Kenny Thomas, also known as Bigger or Big Man of Grand Anne's Valley, St. George, will be held privately. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Leron Tristan Caliste, also known as Lero, of Crowshoe St. Andrew, passed away on Sunday, September 5, 2021, at the age of 42. He was the son of Barbara Caliste, also known as Hermie, father of Imran Williams and Naomi Caliste, brother of Douglas, also known as Debbie, Thomas, Kenneth Belfon, also known as Chinko, Maudlin and Jeanette in Tortola, and Jean in Grenada, brother-in-law of Dixian and Gilbert Braveboy, nephew of many including Miral, Ardosa, Lystra, Julie, Val and Anthony Mason, uncle of many including Debian, Zori, Damara, Kewen, Keen and Ronnie, godson of Elias Jones, Many cousins, other relatives and friends including the Dialysis Foundation, Nurses Bagwan, Williams and Francine, the Honourable Emmeline Pear and the NNP South East constituency staff, the Sanderson family of Crowshoe, the Mason family, Mr. and Mrs. Urban Sylvester, Gemma Noel, Angela Allard, Mr. and Mrs. Arnott Felix, Jesse Braffett and family, Earl Maitland, Egbert Alexis, Rolanda McQueen, Lucy King, and friends and neighbours of Crowshoe and surrounding areas. The funeral service for the late Leron Tristan Caliste, also known as Lero, of Crowshoe St. Andrew, will be held privately. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Homes. Francis Gilbert, also known as Ivan Charles and Boost of Guava Estate St. John, former employee of the Solid Waste and Cocoa and Nutmeg Associations, passed away on Friday, 3rd September 2021 at the age of 86. Left to mourn his children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, brothers and sisters, nieces, nephews, and other relatives and friends. The funeral of the late Francis Gilbert, also known as Ivan Charles and Boost of Guava Estate St. John, will be held privately. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Homes. Mavis Augustina Lewis, also known as Shorty, of Brazan St. George, a well-known market vendor, passed away on Saturday, 11th September 2021 at the age of 71. She was the mother of Teresa Lewis, also known as Minnie, grandmother of Dane and Danelle, sister of Gordon Joseph, Augusta and Gloria Lewis, stepmother of Jadine, close and dear friend of Junior Mason, aunt of many including Sherry-Ann, Keisha, Joni Marie, Dorsel, Peter, Christine and Anne, sister-in-law of Papa Ned and Shamari Lewis, mother-in-law of Lincoln Tate, grandmother-in-law of Thera. Many cousins, other relatives and close friends including Marie and family, Pinky and family, Enid and family, Jessie and family, Sonia and family, Myrtle and family, Catherine and family, Althea, members of the Roman Catholic Church Brazan, Anthea, the Lewis, Baptiste and Joseph families of Cherry Hill, Willis, Happy Hill, Brazan, and friends and neighbors of Happy Hill, Willis, Brazan and surrounding areas. A memorial service for the late Mavis Augustina Lewis, also known as Shorty, of Brazan St. George, will be held privately. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Homes. Stanley Leonard Hagley, also known as Whoop Whoop, of Corinth St. David, passed away on Friday, 3rd September 2021 at the age of 96. He was the father of Hermione Lamoth in the USA, Hilary Francis Dixon, Jennifer and Kester Hagley in Canada, Godwin Francis in Papua New Guinea, Keith Francis, Corporal Alban Francis, Corporal Jason Hagley, Robert and Hensley Francis, and Hilda Mahone. Grandfather of 29, including Joan Francis in Canada, Ellis Lamoth, Lindy Ann Francis, Giselle MacDonald, Kareem Pascal, Rashad and Ranel Francis, and Rosa. Great-grandfather of Elisha Lamoth, Lamaya, Crystal, and Jamuel Francis. Brother of Virginia Hagley Morell, Henry and Alan Hagley in England. In-laws Rosalind Joseph Francis, Patricia Hagley, Marcia Francis, Lorraine Francis, and Gail Francis. Many other relatives and friends including the Purcell family of Tempe, the Hagley family of New Hampshire, the Francis and Hagley families of Corinth, and friends and neighbors of Corinth, Westerhall, and Willis. The funeral of the late Stanley Leonard Hagley, also known as Whoop Whoop, of Corinth St. David, will be held privately. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Homes. Nigel Bell of Grand Roy St. John passed away on Tuesday, 14th September 2021 at the age of 45. He was the brother of Gertrude, Steve and Paul in the USA, Carol and Carolyn in the UK, Agnes, James, Valmon, Denzel and Teresa in Grenada. Uncle of many, including Floris, Lucky, Sheldon, Abby, Hannah, Lorna, Kimonda, Kimon and Chilon. Nephew of Claudette and Trevor Bell. Many other relatives and friends, including the Bell family of Grandans and Woburn, the Badeau and Belfont families of Wharf, the Edwards family of Grandroy, drivers and conductors on the Western Route, fishermen of Grandroy, and friends and neighbours of Grandroy, Mont Plaisir and surrounding areas. A memorial service for the late Nigel Bell of Grandroy St. John will be held privately. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Homes. Jane Victoria Skeet, also known as Victoria and Tantawi, of Coopers Hill, St. George, died on Thursday, 16th September 2021, at the age of 91. She was the mother of Geneva Skeet in Canada, Bruce Skeet employed at George F. Huggins, Elliot Skeet employed at Rainbow Janitorial Services, Talita Skeet in Trinidad, Bernard Skeet employed at Grenada Seamen and Waterfront Workers Union, and Carol Skeet, sister of Victor Skeet residing in the USA, grandmother of 22, great-grandmother of 34, great-great-grandmother of 6, many nieces, nephews, relatives and friends including the Williams family of Belmont, the nurses and doctors at the St. George's Health Centre, and friends and neighbours of the Coronage, H.A. Blair Street, Coopers Hill and surrounding areas. The funeral service and interment of the late Jane Victoria Skeet, also known as Victoria, and Tantawi of Coopers Hill, St. George, will be held privately. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Rosemary Williams, also known as Louis, of Bellevue, St. David, passed away on Sunday, 19th September 2021, at the age of 84. She was the mother of Fitzroy, Anselm, and Neil Williams, grandmother of Don, Paul, Glenroy, Nicholas, and Gerard, sister of Stanley, Popo, Eric, and Joseph, mother-in-law of Diane and Rose, sister-in-law of Eileen Williams and Cecilia Mason, aunt of Glenys, Gail, Glemma, Meredith, Diane, Olive, and many others residing in England, Canada, Grenada, and Trinidad. Caretakers Meredith Lett and Lorraine Daniel. Close relatives and friends, including the Bain family, the Kane family, Bernadette Joseph and family, the Francis family, the Noel family, the McQuilkin family, Gloria Daniel, Morty Charles and family, Hermie Caliste, Mrs. Ndika Alexander, Deacon St. Louis and members of the Church of the Immaculate Conception St. David, the Way Group St. David, and friends and neighbors of Bellevue and surrounding areas, too numerous to mention. The funeral service and interment of the late Rosemary Williams, also known as Louis, of Bellevue St. David, will be held privately. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Ralston Warren, also known as Vibrator and Spade, of Duquesne St. Mark, who resided at River Road, St. George, retired prison officer, passed away on Saturday, 11th September 2021, at the age of 61. He was the husband of Valda Warren, father of Valicia, Rondell, Rosetta, and Johanna, stepfather of Samantha and Cathera, brother of Kathleen, Lyra, Carmen, Glenda, Levo, Dolan, and Kishana, uncle of Cornwall, Dan, and Dunstan, nephew of many including David, Janice, Karen, Tasha, Anne-Marie, and Shirley, brother-in-law of many including Lionel, John, Angela, Marilyn, and Martin, many cousins, other close relatives and friends including Berlin, Pamela and family, the Belfon, Wilkins, Andel, Warren, and Benjamin families, the staff at Her Majesty's prisons, members of the Calypso Association, and friends and neighbors of Duquesne and River Road. The funeral of the late Ralston Warren, also known as Vibrator and Spade, of Duquesne St. Mark, who resided at River Road, St. George, will be held privately. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Homes. Joan Davidson of Caliste, who resided at Grandon's Housing Scheme, St. George, passed away on Friday, 17th September 2021, at the age of 75. The funeral arrangements for the late Joan Davidson of Caliste, who resided at Grandon's Housing Scheme, St. George, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Homes. Wilfred Batiste, also known as Soap, of Windsor Forest, St. David, who resided at Richmond Hill, St. George, passed away on Tuesday, 21st September 2021, at the age of 70. The funeral arrangements for the late Wilfred Batiste, also known as Soap, of Windsor Forest, St. David, who resided at Belmont, St. George, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Homes. Christine St. Louis of Marion, St. George, passed away on Monday, 20th September 2021, at the age of 69. The funeral arrangements for the late Christine St. Louis of Marion, St. George, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Homes. Gladys Daniel of Walker St. Andrew passed away on Thursday, 16th September 2021, at the age of 96. The funeral arrangements for the late Gladys Daniel of Walker St. Andrew will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Homes. Matthew Francois, also known as Ralph John, of Latost St. Patrick, passed away on Tuesday, 14th September 2021, at the age of 88. The funeral arrangements for the late Matthew Francois, also known as Ralph John of Latost St. Patrick, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Homes. Edward Mirel of Annandale, St. George, passed away on Wednesday, 15th September 2021, at the age of 80. The funeral arrangements for the late Edward Mirel of Annandale, St. George, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Homes. Shirley Teresa Clement née Desrochers, also known as Cousin Shirley, of Petite Martinique, passed away on Saturday, 18th September 2021, at the age of 80. The funeral arrangements for the late Shirley Teresa Clement née Desrochers, also known as Cousin Shirley, of Petite Martinique, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Homes. Carol Mitchell of Le Beau, Crochet, St. David, died on Sunday, 19th September 2021, at the age of 69. The funeral arrangements for the late Carol Mitchell of Le Beau, Crochet, St. David, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Laurie Maguire, also known as Pass, Rev, and Chappie, of Mirabeau St. Andrew, passed away on Thursday, 16th September 2021, at the age of 53. The funeral arrangements for the late Laurie Maguire, also known as Pass, Rev, and Chappie, of Mirabeau St. Andrew, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Homes. Joseph Francique, also known as Strongman, of St. David, who resided at 8 Blair Street, St. George's, passed away on Friday, 17th September 2021, at the age of 66. The funeral arrangements for the late Joseph Francique, also known as Strongman, of St. David, who resided at 8 Blair Street, St. George's, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Homes. Alwyn Edmund Charles, also known as Mike, of Celeste St. Patrick, passed away on Thursday, 16th September 2021, at the age of 74. The funeral arrangements for the late Alwyn Edmund Charles, also known as Mike, of Celeste St. Patrick, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Homes. Theodore Augustus Allen Peter of Grove St. John passed away on Saturday, 18th September 2021, at the age of 77. The funeral arrangements for the late Theodore Augustus Allen Peter of Grove St. John will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Homes. Gerald Julian of Boca St. George passed away on Friday, 17th September 2021, at the age of 85. The funeral arrangements for the late Gerald Julian of Boca St. George will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Homes. Alban Chester Alexander, also known as Chester Mark and Kayak, of Nunperel St. Mark, passed away on Saturday, 18th September 2021, at the age of 85. The funeral arrangements for the late Alban Chester Alexander, also known as Chester Mark and Kayak, of Nunperel St. Mark, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Homes.
John McLean Telesford, also known as Brigadier and Briggs, of Bailey's Bacolod St. David, passed away on Tuesday, 14th September, at the age of 81. The funeral for the late John McLean Telesford of Bailey's Bacolod St. David will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements have been entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home.
Dickie Chetram of Woburn St. George passed away on Sunday, September 12, 2021, at the age of 51. The funeral arrangements for the late Dickie Chetram of Woburn St. George will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Homes. Karen Lois Noel Bartholomew of Montrush St. George died on Wednesday, 15th September 2021, at the age of 48. The funeral arrangements for the late Karen Lois Noel Bartholomew of Montrush St. George will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Gracelyn Veronica Lewis of Mount Craven St. Patrick, who resided at Jean Anglais St. George, died on September 13th, 2021, at the age of 69. The funeral arrangements for the late Gracelyn Veronica Lewis of Mount Craven St. Patrick, who resided at Jean Anglais St. George, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Merrill Forsyth of Laurelland St. David passed away on Saturday, 11th September 2021, at the age of 71. The funeral arrangements for the late Merrill Forsyth of Laurelland St. David will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Homes. Anderson Houston, also known as Andy of Grandans St. George, passed away on Sunday, 12th September 2021, at the age of 44. The funeral arrangements for the late Anderson Houston, also known as Andy, of Grandans St. George, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Homes. Ralph Anthony Fisher, also known as Fisher, of Victoria St. Mark, who resided at River Road, St. George, passed away on Friday, 3rd September 2021, at the age of 84. The funeral arrangements for the late Ralph Anthony Fisher, also known as Fisher, of Victoria St. Mark, who resided at River Road, St. George, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Homes. Tyrone Benjamin, also known as Frankie, of Grandans St. George, passed away on Monday, September 6, 2021, at the age of 44. The funeral arrangements for the late Tyrone Benjamin, also known as Frankie, of Grand Anse St. George, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacroix Brothers Funeral Homes. Dominic Eustace Lucas, also known as Sonny, Copper, and Garden, of Lower Depredine Street, Grove, St. John, passed away on Saturday, 4th September 2021, at the age of 88. The funeral arrangements for the late Dominic Eustace Lucas, also known as Sonny, Copper, and Garden, of Lower Depredine Street, Grove, St. John, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacroix Brothers Funeral Homes.
Sarah Mark of Montcraven St. Patrick passed away on Monday, 6th September, at the age of 10. The funeral arrangements of the late Sarah Mark of Montcraven St. Patrick will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home.
Angeline George of Caliste St. George, who resided in the USA, passed away on Tuesday, 17th August 2021, at the age of 61. The funeral arrangements for the late Angeline George of Caliste St. George, who resided in the USA, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacroix Brothers Funeral Homes. Alice Angelina Francis, also known as Alice John and Connor, of Mongelou Carriacou, who resided at Brunswick, passed away on Wednesday, 25th August 2021, at the age of 100. The funeral arrangements for the late Alice Angelina Francis, also known as Alice John and Connor, of Mongelou Carriacou, who resided at Brunswick Carriacou, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacroix Brothers Funeral Homes. Jean Joseph of Beaulieu St. George passed away on Saturday, 21st August 2021 in Canada, at the age of 72. The funeral arrangements for the late Jean Joseph of Beaulieu St. George will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacroix Brothers Funeral Homes.
Wendell Jonathan Caliste, also known as Crop, of Riverwood St. George, passed away on Monday, 23rd August, at the age of 57. The funeral service of the late Wendell Jonathan Caliste, also known as Crop of Riverwood St. George, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacroix Brothers Funeral Home.
The management and staff of MTV extend deepest condolences to those of you whose loved ones have passed on. Thanks for watching.
The Bible, this book, familiar to every person on the face of the earth today, gives us directions for our life. When death comes, there is great sorrow to the family and friends and loved ones of the one that has passed on. But if we put our trust in the Lord Jesus Christ and we follow the instructions of this book, we know we will meet again. We don't take it lightly. We don't take it for granted. There must be a decision, because without a decision, the decision is made to be separated from God. So put your trust in the Lord. Believe. The thief on the cross said, Lord, consider me. And Jesus said, today you would be with me, this very hour. And they died together. So put your trust in the Lord, and God bless you during your time of grief and bereavement. Put your trust in the Lord.